This episode, we've got a 1974 HJ Holden Statesman on the dyno that's a real wolf in sheep's clothing, with a hot 355 Holden V8 built by Powerhouse Engines. And later in the episode, we've got another Holden V8 project, but this one's aiming for 1,000 horsepower. Hey everyone, it's Everitt here, working at Powerhouse on the chassis dyno today. We've got a HJ Statesman here and I thought you might be interested in taking a look at. The engine was actually built here and dynoed on the engine dyno at Powerhouse. It's actually a 355 in disguise. And when I say disguise, the owner of the car wanted the engine to look factory stock, right down to the standard inlet manifold. He knew he'd sacrifice a bit of power, but that's the look he wanted and that's the look he got. It actually made about 380 horsepower and just over 410 foot-pound of torque. So it's a great combo with a mild hydraulic camshaft, some cylinder head modifications and a few tweaks internally. It's a beautiful engine, and it's now been installed in the car and ready for us to run up on the chassis dyno and perfect the tune and just make sure that everything's working properly, systems in place, fuel systems, fuel pump, all the rest of it, and to make sure it's running sweet for road use. So what we've actually done here today is we've been tuning the engine. The distributor that we used on the dyno was a test distributor. We've now got an Aeroflow distributor in the car, and we've actually had to recalibrate the advance curve. Now, the ignition advance curve is absolutely critical on a high-performance engine. A lot of people don't realise this, but a standard advance curve on a high-performance engine can run pretty terrible. And one of the major factors is that with a camshaft, a modified camshaft, you actually have very little cylinder pressure at idle. So the engine's not quite as efficient around idle as it would be in the upper RPM range because of the extra overlap and also duration. So what happens is the engine will run pretty rough. So you've got to run more initial timing. You've got to get that timing up. You've got to fire that spark earlier and get that engine efficient. And it can make a huge difference. So today we've gone into this Aeroflow distributor in this engine. We've actually modified the advance curve. So we've shortened up the advance curve. We've replaced the bush. They come with a selection of bushes and also springs. So the advance weight springs are super important. If you have a very heavy spring like this one did out of the box, it'll take too long to advance up. It'll be doughy, it'll be terrible, it'll run rough. It won't be any good at all. So we're actually lightening up the springs, changing the bush, and then we've fired it up and it's run like an absolute dream. Very sharp on the throttle. It can turn a doughy, soggy engine into an absolute firecracker. The other thing we've had to do here today too is to actually refine the carburettor tune. We've made sure that the secondary rods are of the right sizing to match what we saw on the engine dyno as far as air-fuel ratios go on the chassis dyno, but we've also been modifying the primary circuit. So we've done some internal mods which allow us to adjust the primary circuit easily on the chassis dyno, externally with the carb, and we've had about 3 or 4 goes to get it right, but we've got some beautiful cruise air-fuel ratios at the moment, and we're seeing some really good wide-open throttle air-fuel ratios as well. So we're really happy with the state of tune at the moment. It's running really sharp, so let's give it another run-up and just see what it makes. Well, there you have it, 303 horsepower at the tyres. That's a really good result actually, because it backs up what we've seen on the engine dyno. We saw just under 380 horsepower at the engine and 411 foot-pound of torque. So when you look at a 25 to 30% drivetrain loss calculation there, it's pretty well smack on the money. And as you can see there with the air-fuel ratio map, we've set it up safe in the mid-12s to high 12s right at the top end there. It's a little rich right off the bottom, but that's not uncommon when you go wide open on these things with their huge secondaries, pulling those metering rods right out and sitting for about 3 seconds at a static load point there. So in motion on the road, it's not quite as evident. And overall, we've got a really good average of fueling right across the RPM range. So either way, it's very safe and making good power. And that's what it's all about, keeping them reliable, making them drive nice and putting a smile on your dial. And it's an all Aussie V8. Gotta love that Aussie history. Stay tuned as we check out this wild supercharged Holden V8 powerhouse build that's aiming for 1,000 horsepower. That's 824 foot-pound of torque and 963 horsepower. Go the Holden V8. We're with Johnny Pillar at the business end of Powerhouse Engines here in the engine dyno room. And Johnny, we've got a pretty special Holden V8 here, I believe.
Yeah, this is a really nice one. It's a Greg Shepherd's 383 Holden. Been working on it for a bit, just getting all the bits and pieces together. It's, Greg wants to run it on pump gas and on the 85, so we're fairly conservative at 9.5 to 1 with compression. Solid roller in it, just a street roller. It's got a 2650 Harrop on it. We had a lot of drama with belt slip on this, so we've got a custom 12PK setup made for it. And the goal with the engine the whole time was to make 1,000 horsepower, make a ton, just still running the factory Holden block. We fell a little bit short. We're 963 at about 7,000 RPM and 15 pound of boost. Hoping to sort of, I was thinking I was going to make about 18 pound, we're about 3 pounds short. And we haven't got a pulley to spin it any harder. So
the blower's pretty much maxed out though, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty much running at top speed as it is. So that's about where we're at.
Look, 963 horsepower is nothing to be ashamed of, that's for sure. And it's also got tri-wide pipe, so we could go to a bigger pipe. But
that's the thing. I think that's what's holding it back. It's only 1 3/4 tri-wide with a 3-inch collector. Great pipe for like an A engine. Usually up to, I've made 650 horse with these things, but never really pushed the pipe that far. So I'm sort of thinking at least the engine 7.8 4-1 would be better to go.
Can you tell us a little bit about the internals of the engine?
Yeah, so it's just obviously it's got a custom diamond piston, an Oliver Speedway Series 5850 length conrod. It's got a cum 4340 forged crank. The heads are a head I haven't ever used before. Dash 9s are a little bit hard to get at the moment, and we went for the bigger port with these Yellow Terra Super X's. Yeah, it's got Yellow Terra rockers on it. It's got Haltech on it as well. I had my bestie Adam Rogash give us a chop out with the tune. It got it running so good. And then obviously 8 coils.
It's going to be a pretty special thing.
Should be good. Should be good. Yeah, but honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed. We didn't hit a ton, but anyway.
Look, that 1,000 horsepower always sounds good. It rolls off the tongue nice, but 963 horsepower Holden V8, I'll take it.
For sure. For sure.
Be sure to check out our channel for a whole host of awesome content, from engine builds to dyno sessions, car collections, test drives, track tests and barn finds with Australian and American muscle cars, classics and much more.